Ladies and gentlemen, it's another week, another episode of Monarchs of Wrestling. I am your boy Cool McCain, one half of your monarchy, here to give you blasphemy, actuality, opinions, and lots of things in between. And I'm joined as always by the other half of this monarchy, my man, the Playmaker. Sure, he has something to say. So, Playmaker, what's going on, my guy?
How y'all doing tonight? Don't mind my co-host. He went through all the fields on yesterday, and they continue on today. But just a simple two-hand catch was all that was needed.
Yeah,
Just
my
a
coach
simple-
doesn't understand that defense is supposed to hold in. It's all
defense.
on
I'm with you with the defense.
All on Devontae Smith. It's all his fault.
I'm with you with the defense. I'm just saying that's a simple thing that is basic to do was all that was needed. Something
Knock a
simple
ball
and
down
basic.
is a basic thing to do too. That was all that was needed.
But things happen, you know.
We
And
had a
yes,
lead.
I am walking right because let us be the first to say Merry Christmas to you out there.
Yep, and just to let y'all know, this is going to be the Monarchs penultimate show of 2024. As we are not going to be with you good people next week, we'll do a little touching on some of our thoughts on best of 2024 in our first episode of 2025. Because I don't think we need a full episode, right? We just, give what we think.
I just know this.
Keep it moving.
If you haven't already, write it on your calendar. January 6th. Now, only for the obvious reason, but that would be the first show of 2025 with Monarchs of Wrestling.
Yes, sir.
So we gonna come out the gate swinging.
Like
now we gonna end this year 2024 swinging as well. But just so you know, we're coming out of 2025 swinging. Just know.
Picking up the list. Yeah.
So yeah, as we give you what you need before we have the Monday Night Raw from tonight, sir, you want to go ahead and dive into total nonstop action?
We'll do a quick dab. So total nonstop action is like we ain't even filming no content. You know what they're doing? They getting the slick with it, and they giving you about 5 best of 2024 episodes. That'll probably be like 2, all jokes aside. But they just went back and they started giving us what they think are matches of the year, or their best of 2024, as they call it. And then they have year-end awards, of course, for TNA. Some of them we may agree with, and you might hear some of these names when we're doing ours. Some of them you may not. It is what it is. One of the first ones that they discussed was a match that happened January 18th, 2024. Will Ospreay battled Josh Alexander. Not about the win or the loss of the match necessarily, but just how great of a match it was. You can watch it on TNA Plus. You can Google Will Ospreay versus Josh Alexander TNA, and you should pop up if you'd like to see the match. They're just replaying the matches. They did
before y'all get confused. Before y'all get confused, that was before Will Ospreay went to AEW.
Yes, Will Ospreay was not in AEW in January. They then gave out the award for Knockout of the Year. And as expected, the knockout that reigned the majority of the year, the Juggernaut herself, the woman that took the TNA Championship with her, Knockouts Championship with her to the Royal Rumble and competed in the Women's Royal Rumble match, as well as made multiple appearances on NXT. Jordynne Grace is your Knockout of the Year.
No problems with that. And plus, that was the obvious choice.
Yeah, it was about the obvious choice. So then they went on to do one of her matches to kind of highlight why she was Knockout of the Year. And that was her match against, at the time, she was Trinity. And that's Naomi. wrestler formerly known as Naomi, at Hard to Heal, which was their first pay-per-view of 2024 when she was still with TNA. So they highlighted that match.
Okay.
Then they went back over the reemergence of Tessa Blanchard, who made her return to TNA, assaulting Jordan Grace.
Ooh. Ooh.
Then
I might
they
actually
gave
want
out
to watch
a
that
little-
match.
Yeah, it was a good match. There's lots of cakes in that match too. But they gave out the 2024 Moment of the Year, and of course that was Joe Hendry. With his intro, and say his name, he appears, and the whole thing, and everybody clapping. So he was the viral moment of 2024 for TNA. Another pretty obvious, right, choice. Nothing surprising. Oh my God, it's Big Joe Hendry. What a shocker. Yeah, so nothing surprising about that. They didn't play his concert episode he did May 2nd of 2024. Well, he was making fun of AJ Francis. I do want everybody to realize that Joe Hendry really made his mark and got to come up in his feud with AJ Francis. So AJ Francis does have a point. He did make some guys really famous and help boost their careers in 2024. But you're not the best heel in wrestling by far, sir. Let's not even do that.
You're not even top 25.
Top 30, top 50. High flying sensation Leon Slater was voted as the one to watch in 2025. They then played a match between him and, at the time, X Division champion Speedball Mike Bailey from the October 18th, 2024 episode of TNA Impact. Slater didn't win the match, but he had a very good performance, and that was the point, showing the performances. And then next week, they're going to have more matches that they're going to show. They're going to reveal the X Division Star of the Year, Male Wrestler of the Year, Knockouts Tag Team of the Year, and Match of the Year. Also for this week, of course, there was one glaring omission that we have to talk about, and that is 2024 Tag Team of the Year. That was ABC, the tag team of Ace Austin and Chris Bay. Chris Bay, get healthy, my dude. We would love to see you back in TNA or somewhere else. And 2025, I know you had a tough injury, and it's going to take some time, but we're hoping you get better. You're able to resume your in-ring career. And they played the match where they beat the System, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, to become TNA World Tag Team Champions. So that was that. They did play the information about how Chris Bay got hurt, and if you want to help him, they had a link on the show that you could go to if you wanted to support Chris Bay in his attempt to, recover and get the quality assistance that he needs. Since we're going to be digging into some stuff tonight, we are going to be doing a little bit of what I'm going to call limited commercials. So we're going to have commercials, but they're going to be limited commercial breaks. So be prepared. They're not going to be that long. We're going to go into one here in a moment. But before we do, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is in the Bizildin. He says, hey, what up, Daniel Berry? Appreciate you stopping through. And we about to hit commercial break numero uno. And then we will have a quick return.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast, every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets. Drew
in this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Rams fans all around the world.
It's a beautiful thing to be a Rams fan right now. Stafford's back. We're going to see about Cup. And running back Kerryon Williams to a return.
Lend me your ears, or should I say lend Playmaker your ears, as he breaks down week by week everything in the Los Angeles Rams canon.
Number 99, Aaron Donald. Can't wait for 2029 to come to know that you are going in the Hall of Fame, and it should be first ballot, no questions asked.
Join the Playmaker as he breaks down everything Los Angeles Rams style in Ramily Talk on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts.
All right. So this is how we're going to do this thing, Mr. Playmaker. Is there anything from AEW Dynamite that you would like to discuss?
Dynamite, you know what? I want you to continue on with the Continental Classic. What is the updated standings? Where are we at?
Perfect, sir. So, in the Continental Classic, on the gold side, we have in first place Claudio Castagnoli at 3-1. Right behind him, also at 3-1, we have Ricochet. Brody King at 2-2. And at 3-1, you have 9 points. So apologies, people, I did not point that out. 9 points at 3-1 for Ricochet and Claudio. Brody King at 2-2 has 6 points. Darby Allin also is 2-2. He has 6 points. The Brav, Will Ospreay, also 2-2 with 6 points. And Commander 0-4.
Yeah, didn't Ricochet beat Will Ospreay?
I believe so.
But okay.
And then in the blue league,
here's my thing. Before you get to the blue, because there are superstars in the gold that you name. So we have Ricochet with 9 points. He's tied with Cardio at 3-1, correct? They haven't faced each other yet.
Correct.
But in the same breath, they have the Hurt Syndicate treat him like he's a joke.
Well, it's because he's being a kiss A and nobody likes a kiss A. Just go out there and do what you do. You ain't got to be a kiss A. You got to take your car and flash it around.
Which he's doing in the Continental Classic.
Right, but he's also being a kiss A. And they literally came out and told him, nobody likes a kiss A. Let your work speak for you. You ain't got a kiss A. There's not much more they can tell you than that. They don't want lap dogs. They want you to hurt somebody. They tell them go hurt somebody.
They want you to be a pit bull.
Yeah, they don't want you to be a chihuahua.
All bark and no bite.
Yeah.
But you're biting. You're 3-1.
Yeah, but you're not hurting anyone. They're
And
not
you
the
beat. And
Well,
you beat. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. You beat the superstar of the year in wrestling for AEW. Real Ospreys. In your last match. Get to the Blue League now.
but you're not hurting anyone. They're not the barely win matches syndicate. They're the hurt syndicate. Just saying.
You go ahead and go to the Blue League. I'll get to the others later.
All right, Blue League in first place. The guy who has had a career, what can I call it? I don't know, masterpiece, I guess, of a career since he beat your superstar of the year, Will Ospreay. Kyle Fletcher, 3-1. He has 9 points. In second place at 3-2 is Mark Briscoe, who has 9 points. So he's had more matches than the other people, but he's lost one more match too. Daniel Garcia's 2-1-1. He has 7 points. Kazuchika Okada is 2-1-1. He has 7 points. Guess who he tied with? I'm kidding. Mr. Hurt Syndicate itself, Shelton Benjamin, is 2-2. He has 6 points. And then, of course, backing up the rear again, another match luchador, the Beast Mortos. So if you're a masked wrestler in this tournament, basically you're just fodder for everyone. Yeah. I was gonna say fodder for everyone. I am not upset with you suck.
That's how they booking him. So
yeah. That is how they're booking him. Now, also, I was looking earlier, and I believe that we know who's going to be in the semifinals. Give me 1 second here. I had it pulled up, but you know how some of the pages be acting. So apparently the semifinals are already set. And in the semifinals, we're going to have give you some spoilers here, good people. So for spoilers, back in the Hammerstein Ballroom, I'm just trying to see who makes the semifinals. I don't really care about. Okay. That's not the one I had earlier. I don't really care who wins each individual match, to be honest, because we know if you face the Beast Mortos or the other commander, you're going to win. But trying to see. Okay, maybe it doesn't have what it said it had. Okay, so it doesn't. That's okay. Yeah,
all right,
it read like it had like to be in the finals, but it doesn't. But it's okay. We'll take a quick stop right here. We're going to have the last Rampage ever this week. And I, for one, feel like they should have did this time last year. But they finally are correcting a wrong, and they're getting rid of Rampage. Rampage started out on Friday nights. I don't even know when it airs now. I haven't watched Rampage in forever. Because honestly, I just don't care. They've done nothing to make me care about Rampage, so I don't care. You have any thoughts on Rampage, sir? The C-list show for AEW?
They're finally erasing CM Punk for good now.
No, CM Punk's Collision.
Oh, that was CM Punk? Oh.
That was CM Punk's show, Collision. Rampage was actually the second show they started before Collision.
Oh, so they're getting rid of their Thunder.
They're getting rid, yes. They're C-rated
For
shows.
those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, let's type in WCW.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. That's why I said I haven't watched it in so long. I could care less. Like, not even trying to be funny, but it's just not been something that's been entertaining. And if
No
you're not
more
going to be entertained,
Rampage.
I won't watch.
No more Friday nights, which means no more coming on after SmackDown. Which was a dumb idea to begin with in the first place.
It was okay when it was just that and Dynamite, but once you added Collision, you didn't need this anymore because it had no value. They erased the little value that it had. All right, I did find the article that had the finals. So a little spoiler for y'all, since we won't be on next week to talk about it. Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay will face off in one final. That's 1 versus 2. So 1 from gold versus 2 from blue. And then Kazuchika Okada and Ricochet will face off in the other semifinal, which would be 2 in the gold versus 1 in the blue. And then the winners of those 2 matches go on to World's End. And then I do have a rumored card for World's End. But any other things you want to discuss in regards to
World's
AEW,
End
sir?
is this Saturday. How wonderful.
Yep.
Matter of fact, those semifinals will be taking place at World Ends too, so double duty for the 4 competitors.
Yeah, so you have the semifinals. Well, actually, the semifinals take place on Dynamite. The winners of those 2 matches then go to World's End, where they'll face off, and then the winner of that match then is the champion.
Are you sure? Because I'm on the AEW website right now, and they're saying semifinals and finals.
Well, it's telling me the spoilers that they're facing off. Maybe it's a typo. They're telling me on here that the finals is they're facing off. But maybe it's a typo.
Interesting. But since I
Could be a
said
typo.
that,
The setup was on.
Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander part 2.
Let me go to this other one that I found from earlier. Okay, yeah, this one has it right. You're right. So it'll start off with Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander. TBS Championship. Mercedes actually won a match on her own. I'm gonna go with Mercedes on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got a national championship match. Konosuke Takeshita is the champion versus Powerhouse Hobbs. We have done nothing with Powerhouse Hobbs. We have done nothing with Takeshita. I mean, why not let Powerhouse Hobbs win? Put the bet on somebody
Nothing
else.
versus nothing for a nothing title.
It's very harsh.
Well, I get my
All right.
information from you, so. And you just said they did.
I mean, Powerhouse just got back. But Powerhouse just got back. He was out hurt.
You ain't say that first.
They have the back. And he's been back about a month. So. AEW Women's World Championship match. Mariah May puts on the line versus Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa ain't beating Mariah May, bro. Stop playing.
But she did feel some type of way, though. I will say that.
She did, but she ain't winning. We have the two semifinals, so apologies. Playmaker was correct. Okada versus Ricochet. And Okada's the champion. So the way this works is if Okada loses to Ricochet, he's no longer a champion. Ricochet doesn't get to become champion. He just goes to the finals, which I completely think is a stupid idea. I've said this from the beginning. Kazuchika Okada should not have had to be in the tournament. The finals should have been here, and then the winner of the finals faces the champion who didn't have to have two matches. Because what? That's why you're the champion. You're going to have a tournament. The champion has to be in, and if he loses, he just doesn't have his belt. The guy that beats him doesn't even get the belt unless he beats him in the finals.
I don't know what to tell you.
But anyway, Fletcher beats Ospreay, I believe, because they're strapping a rocket on a Fletcher. And I think Ricochet beats Okada, so we're guaranteed to have a new champion.
Ooh. Okay. See where you're going there.
What you think, partner?
You really want me to say?
I do. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are.
I can care less.
Okay. And then, so it would put Ricochet against Kyle Fletcher in the finals. So you ask yourself the question.
No.
Ricochet gets.
I already know what question you can ask. No.
You don't. You don't.
So
Right.
So this is what we gonna do based on what you're about to ask. Hurt Syndicate is trying to put a dog in Ricochet, correct? Or trying to bring the dog out, however you want to phrase it.
Yeah, however you want to put it.
It is not coming out, but he gonna win the championship and still get treated the same way.
That's not even where I was about to go with it. I feel where you're going with it, and I don't mind that. What I was gonna say was the question you got to ask yourself: is it the guy that you're strapping the rocket to, or the guy that'll never really win gold? Who do you want to win? So for me, for the story, Will Ospreay loses the match to Kyle Fletcher, but he flips and he beats his monkey ass. So Fletcher has to go to the finals, and he's not 100%. Ricochet gets the win. Now you have Ricochet as the only guy there with a championship. Because guess who didn't make the finals? One Hurt Syndicate member, Shelton Benjamin. So do we start to get some cracks there? I'm going to go ahead and answer that question too. The answer is no, because this is the proper championship for Ricochet, not for Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin, as we saw last week, has his eyes on the TNT championship. So he loses. He doesn't get this one. He doesn't get to the semifinals or the finals. Ricochet does. Ricochet wins this belt. Shelton Benjamin gets a TNT championship match sometime in the future, and he wins that. Two potential members, one full member, one potential member. The Hurt Syndicate now has championship gold. So if Ricochet goes into this championship match, remember what they want him to do: hurt people. And you get a less than 100% Kyle Fletcher, and you give him the business. You hear me? You give him the business. You beat his ass. Then the Hurt Syndicate, and you win, the Hurt Syndicate starts to pay attention to you. I think that's where we're going with Ricochet. Then we have the Dynamite Diamond Ring match. MJF has the ring versus Adam Cole. Who cares, really? I'll say Adam Cole probably wins because
I only care.
I'm tired of
You know
seeing
why I care? Because of the promo they did. And the promo they did was everything that we said.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, thank you, MJF. Thank you. But the stupid part is you're the one that's the heel, and everybody loves Adam Cole. But Adam Cole was the one that didn't turn.
But when you make MJF a heel for no reason,
I will say this.
Then you got to make Adam Cole a babyface.
I will say this though. Wait, MJF's a heel. He leaves no stones unturned.
But he's more entertaining as a face.
I get you that, but I'm saying when he's a heel, nothing is off limits.
This is true. This is true.
I'm surprised Adam Cole didn't throw no fists when he said what he said. Because I was like, woo. Yeah, he said some fighting words.
It'd be like that. And then AEW World's in Fatal 4-Way for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy, Switchblade Jay White, and Hangman Page. The only logical conclusion here is for Jon Moxley to win.
I was going to go a little deeper than that, but Moxley pins Orange Cassidy. Because when does Hangman and Jay White actually start going at it?
Well, I was actually going to say Moxley pins Hangman. Because they're trying to make Orange Cassidy this pro Orange Cassidy with all black and all that. So I don't think you want him to eat the pin. Jay White eats pins every other match. I think he already ate his pin. So it's time for Hangman to eat his pin. So I think Hangman Page is going to be the one. I think him and Jay White are going to get into it, but it's going to end up with Jay White having him in a pinning predicament or getting ready to pin him, hitting his finisher. Moxley and his crew taking out Jay White and him pinning Hangman Page. But Jon Moxley wins the match. He's got to win the match. That's the only way they can try to resuscitate this Death Riders angry KKK angle. I said it. And I meant it. The angry skinheads.
Somebody's been paying attention to social media lately.
Somebody saw it the first week and said, why they got on like t-shirts and jeans, top jeans?
I don't know what to tell you.
From week one. I had peeped it out. But that's that. So we're going to take another limited commercial break. Shout out Real Wise Radio and 502 Angel Radio. Real Wise Radio, you can be listening to us right now live and in your city on Real Wise Radio. You can also be listening to us on 502 Angel Radio. You listen to us anywhere besides youtube.com, going up into your search bar and typing in at Real Play Callers. We would appreciate you if you do so. We would definitely appreciate that. Any other thing you have to say at all about AEW, sir?
No. Let's
get it.
It's so hard to say bye-bye to Rampage.
Let's get it.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids from the Block, New Edition,
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, They palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Base YouTube channel. Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
All right, sir. Again, a limited break. So we got a little bit more time to dig into things.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the land of real wrestling entertainment, everything's gearing up for January 6th / January 7th. Those of you who don't know, you obviously know about January 6th, Monday Night Raw. But what you probably forgot is that the day after January 7th, Tuesday, January 7th, that is New Year's Eve for NXT. Okay. Before we get to that, because my co-host, I think if I remember correctly, he has a couple of things he wants to speak on when it comes to NXT before we get to New Year's Eve. Let's date back to Monday Night Raw. And remember, this is the fallout from Saturday night's main event that we have already talked about last week. And we said how we feel about it. It's a good start. But we kick it off with I'm starting to think Triple H is loving having brawls to kick off shows. Because we had CM Punk and Seth Rollins have a brawl. Anything on that aspect?
It's been a long time coming, but I knew this brawl was going to happen.
All right, so we had that.
That's all I got to say.
After the brawl, before we get to our first match of that night, Drew McIntyre approached Seth Rollins. Sir, how did you feel about Drew McIntyre approaching Seth Rollins?
So the seeds are being sown. Of course, Seth's not going to just say, yeah, Drew, you're right. Let's team up, buddy. Because, forget those guys. But the seeds are being sowed. Seth didn't turn around and walk away. He listened. And he had, of course, some tweener Rollins replies, but he listened. Pay attention. He listened.
Okay. It's the fact that Seth Rollins gave him the time of day is what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
All right. And hello, my sister. Glad you can join us on the final show of 2024. Now we get to our first match of the Monday Night Raw card. Braun Breaker retained the Intercontinental title over Luke with Kaiser. Very good match to open Monday Night Raw, I must admit. Very good match. I like the way they are showing, even though Luke Kaiser lost, but they are showing that there is promise with Mr. Kaiser, sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, we know how the match is going to end. It's just how we're going to get there. It's be honest.
I enjoyed the performance by both men. That's what I'm saying. There's promise.
I did too.
We
But you know, it's kind of like
we can have a direction for Luther Kaiser.
yeah, it's kind of like it's cool. I like what I saw, but we already knew what the outcome was going to be. Right? It's like watching a movie for the third time. It's a good movie. Like how you get there, but you already know what the ending going to be. That's how I felt.
From there we go. We come back from break. We go backstage. The New Day comes in. They're still getting the cold shoulder from everybody backstage. They want to go in the locker room. And Rey Mysterio drops out. Yeah, guys were talking, and they don't want you in that locker room anymore. So how you feel about the New Day getting kicked out of the locker room?
They deserve what they got. You can't do that to the guy. You can't do that to Big E and not think that there's going to be some consequences and repercussions. So
but they didn't attack Big E. They didn't injure Big E.
They did injure Big E. That's not true. They hurt the heart of Big E. They didn't physically injure Big E, but the emotional damage that they did to that man, that is unforgivable. And he needs to come back and he needs to destroy both of them. And I think that's where we're going.
He said he needs to come back to destroy both of them. We shall see. He did put a post out saying he's still not cleared. So
yeah, but it didn't have to be right away. I think it's closer. He's much closer to getting cleared.
No, I'm just giving some content to our conversation. If anybody, Big E did put a post out there. He's still not cleared. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We got to listen to. Well, we tried to listen to the female companions of Judgment Day along with Dirty Dom, but you know how. Anytime Dom has a microphone in his hand, you know how that goes.
Rightfully so.
And they try to use a megaphone, and I don't think the megaphone worked either. But that leads into the Intercontinental Championship tournament. Raquel Rodriguez preparing for her match against Kaden Carter and Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark gets the dub. So PSC has a member in the Intercontinental Championship tournament. Surprisingly, nobody decided to interfere in that match. It was a triple threat match that was like, there's no rules. But nobody interfered, which is amazing. The matches you can get involved in, they are not getting involved. But the matches you're not supposed to get involved in, they're getting involved in. It's crazy how this works.
And Raquel don't seem to be getting no backup from the Judgment Day. She back up them, but she don't seem to be getting no backup. I wonder how much longer that's going to fly.
Nope. Never been seeing Carlito that much either.
Mm-mm.
But more on the Judgment Day look in a minute. Karrion Kross might have planted some seeds that he didn't want to plant. When he said, we make a deal with the devil, you know, that whole line. And Paul Italy and AOP looked at each other with some strange looks in their eyes. So I'm just going to say, I think Karrion Kross planted some seeds I don't think he was trying to plant.
I agree. Now he wants to call them the Sinister Six.
Well, by what, forcing the Miz to be an official partner in Final Testament.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Which I think is a sucky name, but
they are not the enemies. They are not Spider-Man's enemies, so you can't.
And the problem is, you took the Wyatt Six and you had them lose to those guys.
Hey, it was interference. It was interference.
Still lost to those guys. I'm not here as interference, but still those guys they lost to.
Well, I see what you're saying. I'm coming from the point where it wasn't a clean win in my point of view.
but their first loss is to those guys.
Yeah. They will be back. They will have their revenge. They will have their revenge.
They can never get that L back.
They can't, but they'll have their revenge. I just need one thing, Triple H. Protect Scarlett. The other ones, you can take them out. I can care less. Protect Scarlett. That's it. Now you can let Lincoln Cole get a couple of shots in. A couple of, just so we can keep it real, okay? But we need to protect Scarlett. And I'm pretty sure my co-host would agree with me on that.
Scarlett has assets that need to be protected. And since I know Yolanda's watching, we do have AOP and we do have Ramblin' Rabbit, Eric Roman, who are big meaty man. There you go, Yolanda. That's for you.
I think you said the wrong ones, but nevertheless. Speaking of trying to destroy things, Chad Gable wants to destroy Alpha Academy. He doesn't like what Alpha Academy did. This is after they had a talk with R-Truth. And R-Truth is now using the name Butch as a cuss word. I know Cole Johnson is sick of R-Truth, but that was funny.
That was funny.
That was funny. That son of a Butch Pete. What? He did not say that. My brother looked at me like, yeah, he said that. That was funny. Butch, please. I'm like, really? Now we use it as a cuss word now? Okay.
If you come out this week and be like, you son of a butch, I'm done.
I ain't lying. That was funny. I didn't see that coming. They got me on that one. They got you too.
They did. I'll give them that one. They got me there.
But when they got done, Chad Gable didn't like what Alpha Academy has become, and he's gonna take him down, starting with Cesaro. Does that begin tonight, or are we saving it for the new year? We don't know. But he's gonna start with Cesaro, from what he said. And for once, we actually get to saw Abby now in different clothing. Which was very interesting.
I was not upset. I was not upset.
Hey, there you go. Now we get to the main event. Oh, before we get to the main event, as me and my brother were watching this, Seth Rollins, he did what he needed to do. Adam Pearce made the mess for Netflix. Seth Rollins, CM Punk. That will be the main event, by the way. That will close out the first Monday Night Raw of the new year. Just to go ahead and give y'all that spoiler. But Seth Rollins, he got what he wanted. Like, my job is done here for the night. And in the back, you see a Drew McIntyre walking with a purpose. I'm looking like, oh, this is going to get interesting. What is Drew McIntyre? And guess who ruins the moment for me and my brother?
Sammy Uso.
Still not happy about his loss at Saturday night's main event. But, man, I was like, I wanted to see what this was going to go with. I wanted to see what was going to happen. Hey, I'm just saying.
But you can't be mad at Sammy for saying, yo, you just treated me like yo Butch. I'm not taking that.
But you have to. I'm looking at Drew. I'm like, he walking with a purpose. This is gonna get interesting. And Seth Rollins don't even know he behind him. Like, this is gonna get interesting. And all of a sudden, here comes Sammy. I'm like, darn you. This is like the only time I'm mad at Sammy Uso, because I was really intrigued about what was going to happen between Seth and Drew, because the way Drew was walking,
I'll never get mad at Sandy because I just assume he's gonna do something stupid because it's what he does most of the time.
I was like, oh, this is finna get good. This is something that's finna happen right here. And then yeah. But now we get to the main event. The World Tag Team titles were on the line as the Water Raiders. They get their rematch after shenanigans that was pulled the last time. The Judgment Day put those titles on the line. What's the term that Michael Cole uses? Turnabout is fair play, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So some things happen. And Finn Balor decided, you know what? I'm gonna grab me a steel chair. Grabs the chair, but he can't move the chair. It's like somebody on there in his own chair. And of course, those of us who pay attention, we know who's on the other side holding that chair. That would be one Damian Priest.
Mm-hmm.
Holding the chair. He didn't touch him. He didn't touch him.
He did not.
Didn't touch him. Finn Balor tumbles, falls. He shot that Damian Priest is even there at ringside at all, which takes his eye off the mission at hand, and the World Raiders put it into the Judgment Day Tag Team title reigns. As I will be the one to say, World Raiders, we here at Monarchs of Wrestling, we thank you for ending that tag team reign. We thank you for that. Great way for us to go enjoy Christmas and go into the new year, knowing that the Judgment Day are no longer tag team champions.
This is very true. And he definitely speaks for both of us.
So we think. And that's how Raw goes in. Fire race behind the Water Raiders. They holding the tag team title. That's how Raw cuts off. Very great, by the way. Very good visual to end the show.
I really wanted to run around my room. Yes. I'm so sick of them as tag team champs. They defended tag team champs less than Roman Reigns defended the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship.
And that guy took
and they're on the show every week.
And that guy took months off. Yes, they are on the show. We see Finn Balor every single week. But he ain't no matches.
No
matches. He got plans for everybody else. And
listen to Finn and you win.
And messing up Damian Priest here, Gunther there, but now ain't no matches though.
And they just ran Carlito away.
Carlito just back there. Every time you see Carlito, he got an Xbox controller in his hand or a PlayStation 5 controller in his hand or an Apple. Sometimes both. He barely even speaks anymore. Yeah, we probably say the same thing for we probably could say the same thing for JD Madonna too, because JD Madonna he really wasn't doing nothing either.
But he couldn't because the tag team partner, all he wanted to do was try to be the world heavyweight champion. Like he didn't also have tag team championship gold.
So that was Monday Night Raw. Now before I get to NXT and SmackDown, they had a special show on YouTube. The kickoff to Netflix. And a couple of things I would like to hear from my co-host. Logan Paul is back.
I thought he retired.
Logan Paul is back. But beginning in 2025, Logan Paul would be part of the Monday Night roster. Thoughts on that and him calling out Gunther?
Clown move. Your last match, you lost to L.A. Knight. Yeah. And then you want to come back and call out Gunther. But do you? Gunther needs somebody to smack around. You're not going to beat him, so whatever. They're like, yeah, I knew that was coming. He knew it.
So we have that. Kevin Owens was not invited to the kickoff to Netflix up in Sanford, Connecticut.
Why would they not involve Kevin Owens?
But he showed up anyway. With a belt he didn't even win.
Mm-hmm.
And plus he beat the whole he was robbed and all that good stuff.
Same old song and dance.
So I wonder how long Triple H is gonna let him hold that Wing Eagle belt before he finally takes it back. I'm surprised he didn't take it back when they were shoving each other after Saturday night's main event. But that's tight. And then the kickoff to Netflix got even bigger because Adam Pearce made it official. January 6th on Netflix. The women's world title is on the line. We're running it back. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. We're running it back. So far, every match that's been announced for that Monday Night Raw is pretty much main event pay-per-view worthy. Literally.
Man, it makes sense.
The Raw's getting a pay-per-view treatment right now.
As much money as they're getting from Netflix, it is pay-per-view.
So by your response, that means this might be the only weekly show that you were allowed to be a pay-per-view.
It's a premium live event.
Yeah, that's what the feel is. So I want to get those in there because I don't think any other else that I need to talk about from that show. No, not really. Not about an hour long.
Yeah,
Wasn't that long. Now let's get to NXT. So the fact that our NXT Tag Team Champions love to put themselves in stupid positions. And I thought what Nathan Frazier did was stupid to get involved in the Iron Survivor Challenge, but he put a good showing. Axiom, on the other hand, I'm gonna let this one slide, okay? This is my one, all right, cool. This is my one for the night. What in the hell was you thinking? Getting in the ring with Obafemi. What was you thinking? Obafemi treated you like you should be treated. Man.
Dog walk your ass.
Man. I just know Sam. Anytime you see Obafemi, you better go the other direction.
I was about to say, if I see if I go to watch the card and I see myself fighting Obafemi, one or two things gonna happen. Either I'm gonna get hurt backstage, like somebody did, hurt myself backstage, so I don't have to have that match. Or, and it's called foreshadowing, y'all. Or it's gonna be one of them finger pokes of doom. Soon as he swing at me, I'm out. That's the two things that's gonna happen if Obafemi's across the ring. Forget that. You don't pay me enough for that.
Jeez. I don't know. Why do our NXT tag team champions keep doing this to themselves?
They seem to be gluttons for punishment. That's all I can come up with.
I think being champions ain't good enough for y'all.
I guess some people like to be abused.
Jeez.
So they get their jobbies, man. You know what I'm saying? So people
like I
to be
said,
abused.
Nathan Frazier, you put on a hell of a performance and for the Iron Survivor. Hell of a performance. Still shouldn't have been in it, but you put on a hell of a performance. That's him on cheap, man. Anyway, let's make my co-host happy. The Metaphor beat Soruko and Zarya. Now that's messed up. Zarya had to take an L. I don't know how I feel about that.
The Meta Chicks.
But you do know how I feel about one Miss Jakari Jackson. Miss Jackson.
I do. I know. And I agree. I enjoy Miss Jackson. I am for real.
And what the Meta Chicks was wearing on NXT.
You talking about a cake explosion?
And it had to be black. And it had to be black.
All I can say is thank you, Meta Chicks. Thank you. Thank you, Shawn Michaels. Thank you, Meta Chicks. Thank you, wardrobe designers, stitch person, all y'all. Thank you.
And guess what? The fun don't stop there. If Cole Johnson would say he'll be happy with the next thing I'm about to say. And St. Clair, I don't know why they put you in the ring with Miss Parker, but they should never do that again.
Hey, Miss Parker.
Now I get it, St. Clair. You did all you could. That's still Miss Parker, though.
It is Miss Parker.
Good showing. That's still Miss Parker. And Miss Parker is feeling some type of way after getting knocked out by Miss Lola Vice in the underground.
There's only one more piece of happiness that we're missing right now, and that's Miss Kalani Cakes herself.
I don't think she made the show on this one.
She didn't. I'm just saying that's the only piece of happiness that's missing. No Kalani Cakes.
Speaking of our NXT Tag Team Champion, they pulled double duty after Axiom decided to get destroyed by Obafemi. Somehow they still was able to keep the titles against Gallus.
I mean, it just shows the disrespect they have for the rest of the tag team division in NXT. I mean, it really does. Like, for real. You're disrespectful, yo. At this point, it's disrespectful. This dude goes out there, gets destroyed by Obafemi, and they still keep the tag team belts, bro. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful, yo.
Now you understand what I was saying a couple of weeks ago. I don't understand how they keep these tag team titles.
Oh, I know. I never disagree with you. I know.
I don't think y'all understand what I've been seeing with this team.
They're just very reckless.
Axiom got obliterated by Obafemi to begin the show. And then what? 3 matches later, they successfully defended the tag team titles against Gallus. And by the way, Gallus are some Rough Riders.
And I won't say he's being nice when he said obliterated.
And when I say Gallus, we ain't just talking about it's just an ordinary tag team. Gallus is some ruthless dudes. And they still survived that. Just like what's my PLE now? Deadline. Nathan Fraser was part of the Irish Survivor Time. That kicked off the show. Well, what? 2 matches later, they successfully defended their NXT tag team titles.
All right, we got a few comments to go over here.
Go ahead. I'm just saying. I'm like, I don't understand how they keep surviving the tag team matches, but get destroyed in the single matches. The same night, by the way. We talking the same night. We ain't talking getting destroyed one week and then defend. We talking the same night.
Oh, wash. Yolanda says, I love Roman. Yolanda, one week you have to come up here and be like, I love you, Roman Reigns.
Oh, Lord.
Yolanda says, Rhea wins her belt back. And then she says, title. I meant to say title belt. I interchange them every day. She also says, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. And then she says, high stepping Miss Parker. Hey, Miss Parker. I just had to say that again. It just happens. Carry on.
So last week we talked about the downward spiraling of one Ethan Page, and my co-host was saying he's in a situation he need to go through all the egos. So Ben in his downward spiral at us comes out with the microphone Says what he has to say. Javon Adams comes out, tries to be that motivational guy, you know. No, you what you have done so far is what NXT needed. You got it. You still got it.
You still got it.
All right, I lied. Only to get your ASS destroyed by Ethan Page. You can go if you want to go on this. You can go to details. I'm just gonna say Ethan beat the holy hell out of him.
Ain't no details needed. You speaking facts?
Jesus Christ, he beat yeah. I think they said he knocked some teeth out, which is never fun.
That's wild.
And then we get to the main event. NXT Championship. My bad. NXT Championship. Trick Willie defending against Eddie Thorpe. Speaking of somebody who faked his own attack to get a title shot. Well, smart, by the way, because he said it after he signed the contract.
Mm-hmm.
And had Ava looking stupid.
Still not smart though, because you're never gonna beat Trick Williams.
But we had some controversy at the end of this match. We had a double pin. So basically, what that means, those of you who are trying to figure it out, both competitors pinned each other at the same time. So how does the match conclude? Well, unfortunately, to Shawn Michaels, unlikely. And by the way, trust me, I know Shawn Michaels hate making that decision, but it's pretty much the decision that needs to be made. Double pin means both guys wins, which ultimately means is a draw. And co-host, you might want to tell me what happens in a draw in a title match.
In a draw in a title match, the champion retains his championship.
Which means the whoop that trick era continues.
And now we've got somebody else when you want to have him have someone that he could just destroy down the road. Eddie Thorpe's there.
He might do it next. He might do it this week, or he might do it next week before he even get to Overfemi, because that match is already set for New Year's Eve. The NXT champion will be meeting Overfemi, and I have my trepidations for obvious reasons.
I've been telling you all along. What have I said?
We've been this.
Is going to the main roster. So it's just a matter of who they want to the main roster right now.
So yeah. So that's your NXT for this week. Anything you want? I know you got some things you want to say, but did I cover everything that you needed to cover?
You have covered it, sir.
All right. Now we get to Friday Night Smackdown. Now, those of you who are confused or are trying to find a reason or rationale why SmackDown felt different, it was because your thoughts are right. It was taped. Why it was taped? It's the holiday season. Get over it. That's my small rant for the consumers for the night. Get over it. It's the holiday season. Let them spend time with their family. Now, open the show with Bloodline 2.0 coming out in ring gear. All of them dressed to compete, including Solo. No suits. There were no suits this time. Of course, he's talking about the tribal match with Roman Reigns coming up on Netflix. And then Drew McIntyre music hits. And Drew McIntyre says he's conflicted because he wants to take the man who actually cost him the championship to begin this whole thing with Drew McIntyre, Solo Sikoa. For those who don't know, that's when Solo made his debut on the main roster back at Clash of the Castle.
Because Jimmy and Jay weren't clear to leave the country.
Nope. So Solo made his debut, and his debut was costing Drew McIntyre the WWE Championship. But you says, you know, right, Solo? You the only one who had the cojones to stand up against Roman Reigns. From his new bloodline and all that stuff. So I tell you what, I continue my road path with Jimmy, Jay, Sammy. As long as you take care of Roman Reigns. And then once you take care of Roman Reigns, then me and you, we can go head to head, face to face, man to man. That's pretty much Drew McIntyre. That'll be much Drew McIntyre. So Drew McIntyre is saying he's not going to attack Solo from behind like he did the others. He gonna stand face to face in the ring, and we gonna hash this out. That's pretty much what he's saying. But we forgot so quickly, Mr. McIntyre. Get pulled out the ring, and you started feeling questions to your back because Jimmy, Big Jim, was not having you feeling good about yourself after what you did to him the previous SmackDown. But it was a quick turnaround for Bloodline 2.0 because they had a fight. LA Knight, Andrade, and Apollo Crews. I'm pretty sure you all can figure out who won the match. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Bloodline 2.0 wins. We move on. The Grayson Waller effect has returned to SmackDown in a big monstrous way. Because the monster of all monsters was the guest on the Grayson Waller effect. But, you know, Mr. McCain, your boy, humble is not in his vocabulary.
It's definitely not.
Humble is not in his vocabulary.
It's definitely not.
He comes out, interrupts the Grayson Waller effect. You want to talk about how it was unfair? It was unfair, but you don't want to put your foot in your mouth. So you put yourself in that predicament. But he said he ready now, and I want to run this back. Okay, so we gonna run it back. Braun Strowman versus Carmelo Hayes. I know my co-host, so Carmelo Hayes wins, but via countout, which he doesn't like. And it's probably most of how he wanted to be a countout because Braun Strowman threw him in the ring. And it got to the 10 count.
Just like Commanders fans say, a win is a win.
Hey. But hey, they won. Braun Strowman does the normal, I'm going to chase you backstage and this ain't over and all that type stuff. But something interesting happened. I don't know I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it. But me and my co-host, we like to make sure there's no stones unturned when we talk on Monarchs of Wrestling here. Braun Strowman ran into Legado del Fantasma after Carmelo Hayes ran into them, and it looked like they're about to be some sparks flying in between Escobar and Carmelo Hayes for a minute. Braun Strowman comes back. Escobar stands in front of Braun Strowman, says, "I ain't telling you, Jack." Angel Garza wasn't having it. Angel Garza, he went that way. Yeah, let's go that way. Because Angel Garza's like, I am not trying to steal this man. No, we go that way. I don't care if it's 3 of us. No, he went that way. Angel Garza's like, I'm not having it.
Yeah, we don't want the smoke, sir. This is a smoke-free facility.
Escobar was all about it. Escobar like, I ain't telling you, Jack. I thought Escobar was the leader.
Till he get hit.
Angel was like, he went that way. No, stay away from me, please.
Smart man.
At least somebody in that group use their brain.
Right.
But Carmelo Hayes set up a trap. hit him with a chair a couple of times and let them land and did what you're supposed to do, run. And don't come back. We did get to hear from my first ever United States Women's Champion. Didn't really say nothing important. But we did get to hear from her. So she was on SmackDown. But Candice LeRae, Nia Jax getting ready for their main event match for the women's tag team titles. Tiffany comes up, looking good as always. And Candice LeRae is starting to annoy me right about now.
Oh, she's just starting to annoy you. Kudos to you.
And this is even worse that Nia Jax is not saying that. I thought Nia Jax was supposed to be the monster here. Nia Jax is supposed to be the one you fear. But Candice LeRae is the one doing all the talking.
Now I said she don't do all that talking. She's not like most girls.
And then she's starting to look like she was sorry. Like, you're the one that decided to get close to Tiffany.
You wanted it to be Tiffy time. Now it's Tiffy time.
Now Candice LeRae comes into the picture and changes everything. With her miniature self. Mm-hmm. How does that work?
And her non-existent on television speed championship.
That's still going.
If they keep talking about her being speed champion and not showing the belt, what's the point? Seriously, what's the point? Go ahead, though, sir. This digression.
Johnny Gargano defeated Alex Shelley by cheating again. But Johnny Gargano got the dub. So what's it going to be next week? We're going to have Tommaso Ciampa versus Chris Sabin?
Probably.
Haven't heard from the Street Profits, so I thought that would be more for the Street Profits to come back because they had that camera on DIY with that interest behind them right there for a good minute. I'm like, yeah, this probably a good time for the Street Profits to make their appearance.
Too soon. Like a preemie jumping out the room. Too soon.
But no, so we're going to wait another week and see what happens. Maybe another 2 weeks because Netflix is 2 weeks away.
There you go.
Then we had the main event. After the mention, Nia Jax, the women's champion, and Candice LeRae going against the team of Bianca Belair and replacing Jade Cargill for the moment. Naomi,
I don't want the belt till I earn it.
How did you feel when she said that?
My exact words were, girl, bye. And my next thought was, you probably did throw Jade Cargill.
I came up with a nasty thought, not theory, nasty thought. Came up with a nasty thought because we have our suspicions of who did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what if this happens? Because we are waiting for Tiffany starting to cash in that Money in the Bank Country Code Nia Jax. We just waiting. We know it's coming, right? And we don't know when they're going to have that storyline finally revealed of who attacked Jade Cargill because they playing it close to the vest, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if Tiffany Stratton cashes in that Money in the Bank? And Triple H, I'm going to say this right here, right now. Don't you let Tiffany Stratton fail that cash in. She cashes in, she becomes champion.
She got to become champion. She can lose it the next week, but she got to become champion.
So here's my thinking, and it's a crazy thought. I want y'all to say what y'all think. Tiffany Stratton cashes in the Money in the Bank, right? Mm-hmm. She beats Nia Jax and becomes the WWE Women's Champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's Nia Jax the one that spills the beans on who attacked Jade Cargill and it be Tiffany Stratton? Because Nia Jax came up with the idea.
I mean, anything's possible.
But since Tiffany cashed in on her, now we're going to tell it all.
Yeah. Then we're gonna dry snitch.
That would be some nasty work.
Dirty work.
But I can see it happen because everybody was involved in war games.
Filthy work. But yeah.
That's another thought to throw out there. I'm not saying that's the most likely one, but that's a thought to throw out there.
What if Bianca and Naomi was in it together?
That's what most people are thinking.
That would be crazy work.
That's what most people are thinking. Because all of a sudden Naomi's a champion now because Bianca retained the tag team titles. Well, Naomi actually one got the pin, so and she pinned Kellens the Ray out of all people.
What did do the speed champion? Shouldn't you be speed champion now? Like anybody.
I'm just saying. You saying who benefited the most from Jade Cargill's absence? Quite frankly, is Naomi. Naomi been trying to be a champion for the longest since she got back. Now she's finally champion because Jade Cargill's out of it, and she was placing Jade Cargill. Other people think it's Bianca Belair because Jade Cargill is getting the spotlight, which that's not true. It's Bianca Belair. And some people have said this on this program that Bianca Belair is the John Cena of the females division. So seeing Bianca turn heel, it is one of those me and him will believe it when we see it when it comes to Bianca Belair.
Think about it this way. Bianca Belair's husband turned heel. And instead of turning her heel with him, they went and gave them the sumptuous, salacious B-Fab instead to be their manager and another member instead of his own wife. I'm just saying.
They say Bianca Belair is the female John Cena because all the little girls look up to Bianca Belair. And it's kind of true. It can be white girls, can be black girls, Latino girls, Asian girls. They all got that braid.
Mm-hmm. And they all on their own against the wild. They never needed you at all. She's not going heel. She ain't got nothing to do with it. It's Naomi.
So, you got Naomi. Haven't heard from Bayley because I'm starting to think Bayley might not have nothing to do with it. Because she did War Games and we haven't heard from her since then. And that was after she got ousted in the United States Championship tournament. So thought it was better because Bayley replaced her in the War Games match. So, but we haven't heard from her since. So kind of put her down on the poll. Not eliminating her, but putting her down on the list. So that's 2. Everybody on the other side, Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, Tiffany Stratton. So that's 5 right there. But WWE's playing close to the best right now. And yes, my sister. I'm thinking January 6th is that imminent return of one Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, we're going to go through because Yolanda has been very interactive with us tonight. We appreciate the interaction. She says, I used to like Eddie Thorpe, but not anymore. Yeah, never liked Eddie Thorpe, but I feel it. Yolanda said, no, I don't think that's what happened at all. And that was that was when I was saying that Bianca and Naomi.
No, she was talking about my thought process.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about mine because it popped up when it popped up. But it does have a little bit of a lapse, so that makes sense. She says, it doesn't make sense to me that Bianca is involved. It doesn't. I just want to throw it out there because I've been hearing that. That's all. See what Playmaker was going to say. I know he was going to find a way to break that down. So I just want to throw that out there for him. Basically, just alley-oop, on the 5-foot goal. See what he's going to do with it. Leon also says, I thought of returning Charlotte, which is what Playmaker was talking about. It doesn't make sense.
The way Triple H is rolling right now, he has put himself in position to have many options to go either in a lot of directions.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know which way it's going to happen. That's why my thought with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax could have happened. Because you played it off to begin with, but as naturally you did that because you didn't want to deal with her. and you thought it would cripple the team to help your team get the win. But since Tiffany turned on you, which everybody's waiting on, you spilled the beans.
Snitches get stitches.
All right. That would be it. This is it for 2024 for Monarchs of Wrestling.
Yes, sir. Next week we will be on hiatus, so everybody can enjoy their New Year's Eve and start their turn up nice and early. But January 6th, we'll be back. Ain't gonna be really nothing going on with TNA. We'll talk a little bit about World's End. Nothing's gonna be really surprising about AEW World's End. We'll give you our top guy, girl, faction, tag team from the three companies that we talk about, as well as our match of the year. You know, have a little fun with it, and start to prep y'all for the PLE level Netflix debut of Raw. Oh, and by the way, if you don't catch it live, you got to wait 48 hours to see it. So if you don't catch it on Monday, you don't have Netflix live to catch it on Monday, you can't watch it till Wednesday, unless you know places that you can see it. Wink, wink.
Yep. So y'all have a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year. And remember, you know people that are struggling, go see them, man. I ain't gonna go through the full spiel. You know people are struggling, go see them. This is a season where people that may have mental health issues or just have a bad time because of loss, death, certain things they may have had, they don't have anymore. All this stuff can trigger you. So check on your people and make sure they're good. And always, 4 people you think are your friends, they may or may not be. 4 people you know ain't your friends. All 8 of them, come check out your Monarchs. We get them right in the world of professional wrestling. With that being said,
we will see y'all in 2025.
2025. Can y'all believe it? It was just January 2024. We were just starting the show. Now it's about to be January 2025. And all you're going to get is more your favorite place to watch and talk pro wrestling. And if it's not, it needs to be. See y'all next week. Well, see y'all in 2025.